Hello everyone, I'm Tish Troutman, and she mentioned it's Parents for Safe Technology, and what we do is educate parents and children of the safeties of the internet and the dangers that are out there regarding sexting, texting, cell phones, cyberbullying, the online predators and things of that nature. So what we do is we find all of the different products on the market and produce the best that are out there and let you know what they do. So as of right now, we actually have a product called Web Safety and Cell Safety. And one of the things that is so exciting about this is that on the cell safety product, children cannot drive and text at the same time. If the software is on their phone, the moving vehicle lets the GPS know in the phone, and it automatically deactivates that feature. So if any of you are familiar, this is one of the #1 killers of teens right now. So we're real excited about that piece of the product. And then on top of that, we have a PC product. So if someone reaches out to a child, or anyone for that matter, and uses inappropriate language or net lingo that actually means something that's not very appropriate, then it will send a text immediately to the parent or to the caregiver's phone. So an example of that would be my daughter. She's been on this now. We have 3 girls, ages 8 through 11. And actually, this whole entire thing began when my 8-year-old went to a friend's house and saw a pornographic site for the first time outside of my care. And it was very frustrating for my husband and I. So when we actually started thinking about setting up something for parents, we actually couldn't find anything. So that's why we actually decided to start this company. And but my daughter got a text from a boy and had some language that was inappropriate. I got the text. And it caused us to have dialogue with one another that we would normally have. And in that process, we've actually talked about all the tough issues, including sex, which with 11-year-old, she doesn't, that's okay, Mom, I understand what it is, I know. Well, do you really? Let's talk about it for a minute. You know, so anyway, we had a situation just over Christmas on the PC. They just got their little netbooks for Christmas. And Faith, my oldest, was talking with some friends and used an inappropriate word. And she actually used a hyphenated version of it. And so my husband and I called her in, and she was, you know, just embarrassed, and we were able to have that conversation about what this means. She goes, well, how did you know? Now, she knows that we have this product on her computer and her cell phone. But she said, but how did you know? And so I pulled it up on the computer. What it does, it sends you an email with an exact picture of what they were doing at that time. So I said, what is that? And she said the word. And I said, do you know what that word means? Well, no. Well, how do you know that word? So little lessons along the way. She didn't know the meaning of the word. So we talked about it, and her friends were using it, and it's just like any other kid. She was using it because her friends were using it. So anyway, my point is that there's so many different learning situations that come from this, that I've got great kids, and people say, well, it's not my kid. My kid's a great kid. It's not about your kids. It's about the other kids that are sending messages to them. And it also works in chat rooms. A lot of these other softwares on the market, they're transcripts. So a parent has to go back through later and read all of that transcript and try to find, is there a problem? Are they going to go meet up with some stranger at Starbucks? You know, this happens instantly. So if they use the word meet up or let's go out, it sends a message. So another little story. My daughter's first little crush, her little friend asked her to go out. They're in 5th grade, so they don't really go anywhere. They just say, will you go out? So I knew who she liked, and this one particular boy asked her out, so it was exciting. I knew about it, but she didn't know I knew about it, so I let her come to me. So it was good that I was aware, but she was able to tell me on her own time, so that was a better situation. So anyway, that's what we do, and we're continuing to build on the website, writing articles and different products and just things for people to be educated. 2 or 3 of the other things we'd like to do is provide software to families who can't afford it or schools who can't afford it for their computers. And then also recycle phones, because this software has to be on a smartphone. It has to be on a phone that uses GPS. And then on top of that, we just really want to be able to help anyone who's had problems. We have a girl in our networking group in eWomen who, her daughter was raped at 14 by an online predator. She lives in Colleyville. Her husband was a pilot, and the perfect family of 5, beautiful children, and it happens to your neighbor. And so we really want to be able to provide counseling, or at least direct them in a direction to get counseling, because a lot of times this happens to kids and they don't tell anybody. And so then they deal with that for their whole life. And the more I talk to women, they'll say, well, don't you know my story? That happened to me when I was 16. You know, you just don't know who it's affecting, but it affects a lot of women. So I'm Tish Troutman with Parents for Safe Technology. If you have any questions or if there's any way we can partner, if you have products that are good for parents and you want to get it on the website and we can help direct people to you that way, I'd love to help support the entrepreneurs in the group. So thanks so much.